All right, this last video comes from economics, and this is something called marginals. And marginal is the economics word for the rate of change of various things in economics. So cost, rate of change of cost is called the marginal cost. And so let's just dive right into exactly how this works. So let's say that the function c of x is the cost of producing x units of something. So the marginal cost of production, the rate of change of cost with respect to x, marginal cost of production, could be thought of as well, let's dive into an example. So you're producing X tons of steel. Producing X tons of steel. And so the cost, of course, of producing that is C of X. And you want to produce H more tons. Well, so the cost of that is going to be C of X plus H. So the marginal cost of production, actually take that back, the average cost per ton of your increased production is C of X plus H minus C of X, the change in cost, divided by the change in tonnage. Okay, so fair enough. The marginal cost is the limit as that tonnage increase goes to zero. So what if I just want to produce just a little tiny bit more? And so this is the rate of change of my cost. So let's look at an actual example. I'm going to shut off the camera because the flickering is annoying me once again. Example 7, if you're following along in the book, and we're talking here about a radiator factory. And you are building radiators, and you are building between 8 and 10 radiators a day, and you have found that your cost could be modeled by the function x cubed minus 6x squared plus 15x. Okay, and you also happen to know that the revenue can be modeled by the function x cubed minus 3x squared plus 12x. And you want to increase by 1 radiator per day. Now, you believe there's a market. The question is it profitable? So the first thing we need to do, we are currently producing 10. I forgot to mention that part. We're currently at 10, but we want to increase by 1 radiator. So our marginal cost function, c prime of x, the derivative of c with respect to x, is going to be 3x squared minus 12x plus 15. And so at the current production level of 10 radiators, this function says that it's going to cost us an extra $195 to increase. Remember, we're talking about as h goes to 0. Well, the next number up is 1, higher, is 11 radiators. So as h goes to 0, that means you can produce 11 radiators. So it's going to cost us $195 to produce 1 more radiator. So let's talk about marginal revenue. Is it worth it? My marginal revenue The rate of change of revenue with respect to the number of radiators is 3x squared minus 6x plus 12. The marginal revenue when I'm currently producing 10 radiators, therefore, is $252, which means that this would appear to be profitable. It's going to cost me another $195 to add one more radiator to my daily production. It is going to generate an extra $252. So we've got a little bit of extra profit there. All right, that's a quick example. That is the end of section 3.4. I will have a recap video. In the meantime, for those of you in my classes, why don't you go ahead and do problems 27 and 28 from the book?